All right, so we want to talk a little bit more about the help that FEMA is providing to all of those evacuees, and for that we're joined by Mark Neveau, a former senior FEMA official. Talk to us about, we have teams of FEMA officials who are on the ground in Butte County right now. Talk about what they're doing to help sort of coordinate the response to this unfolding disaster.
Well, they're partnered with the state and local governments, and right now the key thing is the Disaster Recovery Center that you hear them talk about that's opened up in Chico. And so fire survivors can go there and they can get access to all different types of services, whether it be temporary housing, small business administration, Salvation Army, Office of Emergency Services, DMV, a one-stop shop. Once you get there, that's going to direct you as to what services you need and insurance. It's nice to see the insurance folks are actually there too. So it's a one-stop shop place.
I think a lot of people may look and say, okay, these folks don't have homes. We've got to figure out, you know, how to get them into housing. But there is something really immediate here, and that is just basic sort of day-to-day necessities. FEMA already handing out money to sort of assist with that?
Yeah, as of this morning, we know that 10,000 people have registered so far for assistance. Of that, there's been about $2 million in assistance provided. That can be buying new clothes. That's a lot of it's for temporary housing, hotel, motel, etc. And there's about 1,000 folks that have already received 1 month of payment for rent. Now the trouble's going to be, where are they going to go?
Right.
Because housing in California is already a shortage. They're a long way from local the ability to go to hotels.
So FEMA can help in many ways. It seems like in that interim period, on a short-term basis, getting folks a place to stay for the next couple of months, let's say. Can they help though in a long-term way to find places for all of those people to live?
It really depends upon what the community wants and the state wants. In this case, they're going to try and locate them in motels, hotels, apartments for a short term, and then interim, they're going to try and find them a location. And unfortunately, this is going to be hundreds of miles away because there's nothing local to Paradise, for instance, that they can get to quickly. And so there's going to be a process where folks are going to have to travel back and forth. They're going to have to get to their old homes. It's going to be, this is a different disaster because of the challenge of finding housing for folks that's close by.
What about the FEMA trailers? Are those sort of on standby and getting ready to be in position in that area?
That is one alternative for the housing. Unfortunately, you have to have infrastructure to bring those trailers in, which there's no water, the electrical's compromised, you know, the septic, all of that, the debris has to be cleaned up before you can even talk about bringing in mobile homes or trailers. So that's why they try and encourage people to find temporary, permanent housing by way of financial assistance.
What do you think survivors of this fire should keep in mind in terms of how to seek out this help from the federal government? What's, you know, having been through these disasters before from your end of things, what is your best advice to survivors of this?
They're actually at a point right now where it's grieving. You know, it's loss of life. You know, there are 68 people or 63, the number keeps changing, 300 missing. So all of those folks, that's an intimate community. They're going to feel the emotion and the grief of that. So they're going to try and figure out how do they move through this process emotionally and then rationally. I got to rebuild my home, I got to get insurance. It's a daunting task. That's why it's important to get to the DRC, but also, you know, we've been here a long time talking about these fires, but this is different. This is our neighbors. We've talked about fires in Southern California, we've talked about hurricanes in different states. This is different. I feel an affinity for it because it's my neighbor. So what I want to do is I want to encourage people who are interested and need help to go on the website, markneveau.com, and at no charge, you know, if we can provide them counseling or something, we'd love to help them. They're neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The help is available. It just may take some time for it to reach everyone.
Absolutely.
But at least the federal government's already in place.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you.